A poor grade doesn't mean a poor mind. A poor grade doesn't mean a poor mind. Today we are going to discuss and understand this episode, a society of grades without solutions. A society of grades without solutions. One of the greatest crises in modern education is that many stakeholders have reduced intelligence to grade alone. When I talk about stakeholders, I mean parents, students, and institutions. They all believe in grades, and they have reached even an extent whereby they have reduced intelligence to grade alone. That is a crisis that we are going through at this time, whereby you find now institutions now focus much on getting high grades because the community defines a good institution or a better institution according to how many grades received. A plus, first grades, and that is becoming a problem, whereby even institutions now are focusing on learning the tests. Many people are just busy learning exams because that's their goal. And I believe that this needs to be verified. Because the purpose of learning is not only to pass exams, but solve human problems. The goal of institutions shouldn't just be passing exams, but solving human problems. That's where the purpose of education could head, on solving issues surrounding the human being. Grades are important, please do not misquote me. Grades are very important, but they should never be the only definition of intelligence or success. Grades are good. Even I also talk to my children to come with grades, but it becomes problematic when grades replaces intelligence and success, because these are two different things. You can have a high grade and someone has a poor grade. We all finish school, we go in the world. You find a person who had a poor grade is excelling in life. The one who had A plus is failing. You can do a research, you will find. Not always the bright are doing well in life. No. So let our formal education system be reviewed so that they can train people to become problem solvers. Because I believe that no child is born stupid. No child is born without intelligence. Only every child carries a specific potential. All of us, we are not created the same. If I fail English or mathematics, why do you judge me that I have no intelligence? Why do you judge me that I'm a failure? And many people, many of our children are traumatized. You know, they don't have intelligence. And in this, there is a way that it also discourages them. To me, I think I would really appreciate institutions that cover potential within these children. If someone is failing English, we are not British. If someone is failing a certain subject, try to find where this person can excel. So our education system has failed to identify the potentiality within those children. Because for me, I think even they are more wise. Because this person getting high grades is only memorizing what the professor said, and when they are asking, is able to respond, nothing else. Just to memorize, and then when they are asking, he is able to respond. But this child who is failing to memorize, you may find that for him is always out of the box. He has other things he's looking for. His desire is in something else. But the institution now failed to really find a hidden potential in that child. So if we could get schools that are really trying to see how they can get to understand why these children are failing, then transfer them to where they are going to excel. Because the world is not all about grades. No. If we can say someone who earns a lot of money in the world, you find that he's a football person, someone who knows how to play football. So if a child has that skill, let this skill be developed. We need to have institutions that are qualified to train children in different skills. If a child now has desire to play football, he may play football and he becomes the founder of the whole nation. But because the institution has failed to identify the skill within that child, then the child is eliminated. The child is discriminated. The child is put aside. So we are losing a lot. Because there is a lot of brain we are putting in dustbin, yet they are very important to our nation. So I wish education system can really try to balance, not to undermine these children, but to put them in the area where they are going to be. They feel like they are encouraged to do much more, and this will really bring a lot of courage. So education do not only ask how many marks did you get, but let the education be able to ask, what problem can you solve? The question shouldn't be, how many marks did you get? But let the question be, what problem can you solve? Because when you look at our curriculum, you will find that we really continue to teach 21st century learners using the 19th century education model that no longer meets the demand of the market. The world has changed, but we still teach the same thing. The education system is remaining unchanged, but everything else keeps changing. That's why we are producing graduates who feel they are confused with what's going on in life. Like you will find like a 19th century model were designed during Industrial Revolution, where focus was to get people to work in factories, and they used a model called one size fits all, because the target was to get people to work in factories. So they used this model, which is called one size fits all. But now we want people who can solve a problem. And all problems are not the same. Every problem needs a specific skill. Every problem has its own challenges. So there is no way we can continue using this model of one size fits all. It is really problematic. Then in this generation, we expect to have graduates who are problem solvers. And if the ministry can work on that, and be able to produce graduates who are able to solve problems, then we shall be very okay. Then there's also another problem, I think a serious one, where our schools have become a graveyard of curiosity. How? Let me explain this. You know, most of successful people you will ever met, they will tell you that they excelled through failing. Even myself, I've failed in many areas. But most of the time, I use my mistake to be my strength. But what will happen is in the classroom is that if a child makes a mistake, is punished. That mistake is punished again harshly. Now, what is going to happen? This child will fear to do what? To fail again. They will fear to try again. And when he is thrown to the world, he will always be timid. He will not want to take risks because he knows that each time I fail, there is a punishment. You know, sometimes we do things we don't really understand what we are doing. But that's how the mind is programmed. Once during childhood, a child knows that once I make a mistake, my daddy is going to beat me. My teacher is going to beat me. Even when he comes to the world, he will say, if I do some mistake, something is going to happen. So don't expect this child to take a risk. And every time someone doesn't take a risk, there's no way you can go far. Those who have excelled, they have excelled because they take risks. Let me give you an example. You go to the bank, you get a loan, you build a hotel. So I'm going to build a hotel, but no one even has told you that I'm going to come and sleep in your hotel. But you are taking a risk, building a hotel, and you don't even have any contract for anyone who's going to come and sleep there. It is a risk. So someone who is trained not to make a mistake will say, if I build a hotel, who's going to come and sleep in that hotel? If I construct a school, who's going to come and learn from my school? So you'll find that people who are doing well are risk takers. So now if your children are being punished because of mistakes, I'm telling you, we are killing them. That's why we are saying that the school has become a graveyard of curiosity. And I think this one needs to be really checked and see that we can have a good decolonized educational system that fits the time we are in, that fits our needs. And we expect that through education should create an environment where students learn from their mistake. Thank you for watching UTMI channel. We are blessed to have you, and we are sure that you've been also blessed. Please see you on Friday. We love you. May God bless you, and may God bless Africa. See you next Friday.